Once it's all said and done and these bills actually pass the votes that are required in the General Assembly, there's a potential for legal challenge. And there's a history of legal challenge.
There's a long history of legal challenges in North Carolina. 10 years ago, when we did this, the last go-round for this, there was a series of court cases. I think it was 11 different court cases that went to the North Carolina Supreme Court that actually clarified a lot of the rules that are now in place for this new General Assembly. So there was a series of lawsuits. I would anticipate, I think anybody would be surprised if there were not some lawsuits around this round of redistricting. However, again, the lawsuits that were filed in these court decisions that came down over the last 10 years have clarified a lot of those rules.
Now, based on those court decisions, what are the basics that the General Assembly must follow when redrawing these districts?
Okay, again, one person, one vote. So it has to be, whatever that number is, they have to stay as close to that as they can. There's some deviation allowed. They have to comply with the Voting Rights Act, which was something that was put into place in the 1960s as part of the Civil Rights Act, and North Carolina does comply with that. Not all states in the country do, but North Carolina does have to comply with that. So there's those considerations.
And that's very closely monitored.
Very, very closely monitored. And yeah, as a matter of fact, because of that, because North Carolina is a voting rights state, our maps have to be pre-cleared by the Justice Department. We have to get permission, if you will, get a check-off, if you will, from the federal government for these maps that we will submit. So again, this process is not as freewheeling as you would think. There are a lot of restrictions that are in place.